Hello and welcome to our look at the upcoming Thursday, August 7th trading session. In front of you is the economic calendar, and you can see initially, right away, we get involved in Australian employment numbers as well as unemployment rate. This is a localized number. This is a regional number, so expect a lot of volatility in the Australian dollar and probably nowhere else. If you are involved in the Aussie-US dollar pair, you know that the markets are testing the 0.9350 region, and as a result, if we can get above 0.9375 for any length of time, we believe with a stronger than anticipated number at 13,200 that the Australian dollar will go to the 0.9450 handle. On the other hand, a worse than expected number, of course, is very negative. Looking through the rest of the day, you can see that the BOE asset purchase target number comes out, but more importantly, the rate decision. That being said, there is also, just after that, about 45 minutes later, the ECB does its rate decision as well. No change expected in either economy as far as interest rates, but do pay attention to the statement and do pay attention to how the market responds, because traders out there will be parsing this for information, hints as to where the next bank move is. Our opinion is that the Bank of England is much closer to tightening than the European Central Bank is. Europe is probably a long way away from it. So quite frankly, we think that playing the pound to the long side ahead of this announcement is probably going to pay off. We do expect the pound to continue going higher, as it has had a reasonable bounce from here. And on top of that, the U.S. dollar is a bit overbought at this point. Continuing claims comes out of the United States, expected to be a pretty stable number, but this typically won't move the market by itself. Initial jobless claims can at 304,000, but really at the end of the day, it's probably going to be more of a technical day. We just had a non-farm payroll number, so right after a non-farm payroll number, these typically don't move the market. Natural gas storage is probably the most interesting announcement coming out of America, in our opinion, because it will, of course, affect the natural gas markets. Any rally in the natural gas markets, we think, will offer a selling opportunity a couple of days down the road. Natural gas has been sold off rather drastically, and we just don't see that trend changing anytime soon. Looking at the charts, you can see that we had a negative session here in the S&P 500 during the day on Wednesday after initially trying to rally. But at the end of the day, we're still kind of meandering, kind of grinding, if you will, in a bit of consolidation off of this trend line. We don't expect that to change much, and even if we broke down below the bottom of this, we expect 1900 to come in and offer support. So really expect it to be a very squishy type of market. And realistically, we're actually more comfortable buying on a break of the top of this shooting star. Probably won't get that opportunity, though, during the day. Looking at the Aussie dollar, the employment numbers, of course, will have a massive effect. You can see 0.9350 is being tested. That's the bottom of this consolidation area here. If we can break above the 0.9375 region, we feel that we go back into the consolidation and try to test the top of it, which, of course, is the 0.9450 level. A worse than anticipated number sends us back down to 0.92, and really this is a simple, probably binary type of trade where you can base it solely upon the employment numbers. A little bit more difficult will be the British pound. You can see that we got a nice hammer for the day, so there is a proclivity to go higher, probably to the 1.70 level, but with the interest rate coming out, and more importantly the statement, that will have to be parsed. We like buying this pair into the announcement, though, just simply because it's already got a fairly bullish setup. The FTSE did much like this, the S&P 500 during the session here on Monday, Tuesday, and with the close on Wednesday. Really haven't had anything to add to this. This does look like a market, though, that wants to find support, and we have to believe that the interest rate decision will more than likely offer some type of guidance. A break above 67.20 has us buying, otherwise probably will stay out. And with that, we have looked at the August 7th trading session.